Emily Carter was 23, a rising fashion designer who had just moved into her dream apartment in the heart of New York City. She was the kind of girl strangers remembered, not just for her beauty, but for her energy. A golden-haired spark in a city of shadows, Emily believed in fresh starts, clean slates, the kind of life where you left old pain behind. But pain sometimes follows. Emily was magnetic. She didn't need flashy outfits or loud words. She had that unspoken presence, the kind that made baristas remember her name and strangers glance twice. Her days were filled with sketches, fabrics, and cafe lattes. At night, she'd sit by her window, watching the world move on below, not knowing someone had started watching her, too. That evening, Emily went for a walk through the tree-lined trail near Riverside Park. It was quiet, the air still. Then, she stopped. A chill crept up her spine, not from the cold, but from instinct. She turned. A man in a gray hoodie stood far behind, just standing. He wasn't on a jog. He wasn't looking at the trees. He was looking at her. Emily told herself it was just coincidence. Big city, lots of people. But there he was again, at the grocery store, aisle 7, pretending to read a cereal box. At the bookstore, not browsing, just standing near the corner shelf. On the subway platform, one step behind her. Every time. He never spoke. He never smiled. He was always just there. That night, Emily stood at her window, the one she always kept open for fresh air. She sipped her tea, trying to calm her nerves, but something on the street caught her eye. A man, still, standing directly under the lamppost across the street. His hoodie was up, his hands in his pockets, staring upright at her window. Emily told her best friend Lauren everything. The man, the trail, the window. Lauren frowned. "Are you sure it's not just anxiety?" Emily's voice cracked. "I know what I saw." But the doubt began to settle. Maybe she was overthinking. Still, that night, she ordered a security camera, just in case. At 2:37 a.m., Emily's phone buzzed. Motion detected, front door camera. Her hands shook as she opened the app. The video loaded. A figure, the same gray hoodie. He walked past her front door, but then he stopped, slowly turned, and looked directly into the lens. Then he raised one hand and waved. Emily tried to keep living normally. She couldn't let fear take over, so she returned to the trail, the one near the trees. Birds chirped. The breeze moved gently through the leaves. And then she felt it again. Turning her head slightly, there he was, the man in the gray hoodie. Same distance, same stillness. She took off running. That night, Emily triple-checked her locks, door secure, windows sealed, curtains drawn, but something still felt off. She walked into the kitchen for water and froze. The back window above the sink open, just a crack. Did she forget to latch it, or had someone already been inside? Emily had barely slept. At sunrise, she dragged herself into the bathroom and froze. On the mirror, written in red lipstick, "You used to smile more when you were mine." Her stomach dropped. Her breath caught. This wasn't a threat from a stranger. This was personal. Someone who knew her. Someone who had been inside. Shaken, Emily searched through her storage closet, digging through old shoeboxes of memories. And then, she found it. A photo. Him, Liam, her college boyfriend. The one who became obsessed, possessive. She left him 2 years ago. No messages. No closure. Now he was back, watching, and she finally knew who the man in the gray hoodie was. Emily stepped into the living room. She froze. He was there. Not outside, not behind a camera. Inside, Liam. No hoodie now, just a face she hadn't seen in 2 years, but would never forget. "I told you," he said calmly. "You broke me, so I'm going to break you back." He stepped forward. Emily's fingers clenched around the closest thing in reach. A bottle. Liam stepped closer, his eyes burning with obsession. Emily backed away, heart pounding in her ears. Then, she grabbed the bottle from the shelf and tossed it on him. The glass shattered. Liam fell and was knocked. Emily sprinted barefoot into the hallway. She didn't stop until she heard sirens. Police sirens wailed down the block as Emily stood trembling in the hallway. Officers rushed into the apartment. Liam was handcuffed, silent, staring at her as they led him away. Later, Emily sat in a small interview room, giving her statement. Days later, the court granted a restraining order. Liam was sentenced to 5 years in prison for stalking and unlawful entry. Emily moved to a secure building. Her locks changed, windows sealed. She tried to heal, but part of her still looked over her shoulder. Every single night. A month passed. Emily's life was quiet again. New place, new locks, a new therapist, but in a cold gray prison. Liam sat alone in a cell. He looked up at the wall, at nothing. Then smiled. 5 years, he whispered, maybe less. And when I get out, she'll smile for me again.